Bonjour, madame et monsieur. That's about as much French as I know. Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to F1 2021. We are here for the first TTML social race around the French Grand Prix at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Of course, my name is James. I'm going to be taking you through the stream for tonight, and joining me in the comment box, it is Mr. Pepsi Freak. Pepsi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great here today. I think Suarez was supposed to be here originally, but sadly he couldn't make it, and then they figured, let's get someone diversify this lobby, so they had a Welsh driver, an American, and a few other nationalities all lined up, ready to go, and I got the call. So here we are today to show off the social and get the viewers at home an introduction to what TTML is and what the drivers bring to the table, I assume.
Yeah, of course, and it's the first race on League Racing TV on F1 2021 as well, so we are marking an absolute milestone here. This is my third commentary on the game. I've got experience of commentating on the game, so I know what it's like. Pepsi, this is your first commentary on the game. Looking forward to it?
I am. I got to get out of the way somehow, and I guess the social is a good way to get an introduction because it's not as much pressure as the first league race when I do commentary at the end of next month for this league as well. So, nice little pressure relaxer, if you will.
It could be worse. You could be going in for baptism of fire with the task system in Division 1 TTML with Paco, because I'm going to be commentating alongside Paco, of course, on a Thursday night. But we'll get into all of that information towards the end of the stream. TTML social race, though, here in France. We'll run you through the driver lineup now of the drivers that we are expecting to attend. So, in the Mercedes, we have Maze and Simply Superman. In the Ferrari, we've got Scuba and Kiki. In the Red Bull, we've got Harry Banks from EML and LR fame. Carwin Robb alongside him in the Red Bull. In the Aston Martin, we've got Honey Badger... in the Alpine, sorry, I should say, we've got Honey Badger and Conti. In the Aston Martin, we've got Cam and Vettel. In the Williams, we've got Funky Chicken and Graham. In the Haas, we've got Break FN, new driver to the league, and Dan Morris. Ilar Bunty, another new driver, and my current co-commentator in another league on a Tuesday. He's also in the Alfa Romeo, alongside Callboy, FPL Vettel, and Mad Jonas teaming up in the McLaren, Noisy and Wesker in the AlphaTauri. And Pepsi, looking at that grid, very, very competitive, I think.
Oh, yes, it is. But the only thing I worry about is this is a new game with a little bit new handling model. And we know from all these drivers' Twitters, they all were setting hot laps and posting about it and bragging. So they were all leading the timesheets in time trial. But I just think with the new game, with the rich fuel mix not being an option anymore, and session is about to start, I just think we're going to see who's a have and who's a have not. But I think by maybe the first race in TTML, I think it's going to be very interesting to see. I think a lot of drivers will find their footing, but maybe this is a chance where we see a driver in the mid-pack take that lead forward.
Yeah, I think with the new game, we're only, nearly a week in. If you obviously have the deluxe version, then more than a week in. But if you have the standard version like me, you're only a week into the game, so you're still relatively new, and you're relatively new to the new handler model, to the new damage system as well that this game entails. We'll take you through all of it coming into tonight, of course, for the TTML social race. Good evening to everyone, of course, that is tuning in. And let's focus then on the track in question. Circuit Paul Ricard, 5.8 kilometres and then 3.6 miles, 27 laps awaiting the driver's out on track. 2 DRS zones, of course, one down the start-finish straight, one down into the Mistral straight down in towards the chicane node at turns 8 and 9. A very technical track, most commonly known, though, as a testing track, though.
Yes, it is, and we know from this previous year we had a great duel with Verstappen and Hamilton, but a lot of other years we've seen drivers kind of complain that it's kind of a bit of a boring circuit here, but yeah, it's known for its testing and its long run-off roads, so it's a good track to let people kind of get a feel for the new game, new handling model without too much risk, because if we took them to Monaco, there'd be a lot of carbon fiber all over the circuit.
Oh, if we took them to Monaco, I don't think we'd have about 4 drivers finishing the race. It's a good job we're at France and not Monaco. It is, of course, clear weather as we go in towards qualifying. Looking at the comment section as well, good evening to everyone and good luck to all of the drivers, of course, out on track. Our Mentalist is there in the comment section. I think that's Neymar as well in the comment section. And May is wishing us good luck as well. Good luck to you as well, mate. I'm hoping to see a win out on track. No bias there whatsoever. But hopefully we're going to see some great racing out on track as we get all the telemetry and everything up. No graphics, no task system here tonight. It's good old-fashioned commentary. 20 drivers out on track. And I'm going to make the boldest prediction early on. Harry Banks, pole position.
Oh, I know Harry's a pretty fast driver, and I think that is a good thing. But you know what? I'm going to counter that, and I'm just going to look through the grid here, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to quickly put my finger on the screen and stop on a random name, and it's going to be this one. You know, it's going to be Wesker 95. That's who it's going to be getting pole position for my prediction. Pure randomness. Let's see if he pulls it off.
The pure randomness indeed. He is about to leave the pit lane, of course. He was former, actually, Division 2 champion in TTML, or certainly up there in terms of the TTML Division 2 championship in the last couple of seasons. So Wesker coming out on a set of medium compound tyres. He's going to be one of the first men out on track. The first man out on track is my good old co-commentator from FRL. It's ILR Bunty in the Alfa Romeo. I don't know much about him in terms of his driving. He's a very nice lad, though, when he comes to commentating. So he is taking the Kieran McGinley route, I think, into TTML, where he has got to be having the baptism of fire, basically, out on track.
Yep, that is the Gordon Ramsay approach, trial by fire and see what happens. And some will turn the pressure, some step up to the occasion. But before the lap's about to start, though, we do have some comments here saying that, how do you think about the new graphics? What do you think? How do you like them, and from a commentator standpoint?
I think from a commentator's standing point, it's very good. There's more information as well in terms of the telemetry that we can see on the screen. So I think it's fantastic, and it's fantastic from a viewer's standpoint, I think, as well, because we want to give you the best show. And the best show is basically with the new graphics that we've got. What about you, Pepsi?
I think it's first race, so I have to get used to it, but I do like the new F1 presentation. It really feels nice, and it's very easy to look at, and it's very easy to kind of get the right information out, make it a little easy for the commentators. But obviously, a few more steps would be nice for next year's game.
Don't worry, by the way, if you can't hear any sound coming through from the engine, that is a sound glitch that we've got within the game. Bunty though down in towards turns 1 and turn 2, catches the curb nicely coming through turn 2, and you can take a lot more risk, I think, around this track. I was doing some time trial just before we came live, and you can take a lot more risks out on track around here in France. Coming through turn 5 now toward the end of the first sector, and Bunty's not looking too bad. 22-2 through the first sector on a set of mediums, remember, so he's going to be quicker as he gets towards that set of soft compound tyres. Out of turn 7, now down the Mistral straight. This long 1 kilometre straight normally. Obviously, mentioned with the chicane. The chicane node, of course, being turns 8 and 9. And Bunty now down in towards turn 8. Now through turn 9. He's got Dan Morris just ahead of him, the Irishman, out on track as Bunty now comes up the hill. In towards turn number 10. And hopefully, he'll be on a very good middle sector. 49.8 it is through the middle sector from Bunty. It now comes through turn 10. And then into the very technical section of the third sector. Through turn 11, and then in toward the left-hander of turn 12. And this is where you really have to try and get that downforce through the car, basically into the corners, and Bunty is managing that in backloads at the minute. Runs wide slightly at the exit of 13, now in towards turns number 14 and 15, the final 2 corners. Of course, the pit lane changed just a couple of years ago. It's off to the right-hand side as Bunty now comes through the final corner, now down the pit lane straight, and now down the stop-finish straight, I should say. Set a lap, I think it's a 1:29 maybe, to finish off the night. Bunty across the line, 29.6 on a set of mediums, quite quick.
That flash right up on the screen right there, never very thin because it was very small in the previous game there. But yeah, quite quick lap indeed. But we know on softs, that lap will come down though. So Bunty may not be, as Scuba just puts out a 1:28.756, well over a second quicker. So he made you eat your words, and my driver that I predicted to get pole is now below Bunty. So it looks like the softs have about a second advantage, as it looks like Kiki on his outlap has spun it around though, so maybe not as comfortable with the car.
He has got cars coming through that section of track, actually, so he might have just been waiting off track to let the cars through, maybe. But Kiki, yeah, he's on an out lap, just about to prepare for a lap. He's got a Mercedes, I think, coming behind him. That looks like it might be simply Superman on a lap. Maze is still in the pit lane. Scuba the Wild on top, Bunty second, Wesker in third. Looks like a lot of invalidations being picked up. Honey Badger coming in there in fourth with a 1:34 flat. Noisy to the top of the standings with a 1:28.5. Simply Superman, though, on a very good lap here. The Irishman, as he now runs the line, and he goes third with a 1:28.9. So we're seeing some really good lap time, but already Noisy ahead of the Division 2 champion, and Cowboy's gone quickest. You never see Cowboy going quickest, but Cowboy has.
Maybe he's found the handling in this game. He's maybe got the a little advantage on the other drivers here. But something that it kind of sounds like is when I'm listening in my headset here, I can hear like the light engine noise, and it sounds almost like a Formula E race with a high-pitched like squeal of the engine. So I don't know if that gets over with the viewer or not, but I definitely know from here it sounds like I'm partially listening to Formula 1 if Formula E had the engine supplying for that league.
Yeah, I know on my end, I can't hear anything in terms of the engine sound at all. So we're trying and mimic, I think, the engine noises out on track. We might have to get the guys to watch Brum, maybe.
I know in F1 2020, if you pause and unpause, it does come back. So maybe a quick one could work. I know that sometimes happens, but maybe it's just the game, how the game works.
I've just literally tried that and it doesn't work whatsoever. Harry Banks, though, is on a lap. He's running down the Mistral straight in towards the chicane node. About halfway through the lap he's coming up towards. And that's a quick first sector from Harry Banks. We'll see how he's going to get on, of course, to EML fame alongside Amazing Hour, of course, last season. LR, of course, right towards the top end of the EML Championship. Of course, you'll be seeing them along with 29 other teams in EML on a Wednesday night, and we'll come on to everything I've got to look forward to, of course, as we go forward in towards the end of the stream. But Cowboy's still out on top, Noisy second, Scuba in third, nearly 7 minutes gone in qualifying, but Harry Banks is on a very good lap here. Even May says Harry Banks is going to win in terms of pole position, and we'll see how the Red Bull is going to get on as he approaches now the final two corners. Through turn 14, and then in towards turn 15. Good to see the fans back on the track as well to the left-hand side as Harry Banks now runs through the final corner. I think this is going to be the quickest of the night so far. Harry Banks running towards the line. It is
128.402. That is a very fast lap indeed, well over a tenth faster than Coreboy. But again, that just puts a bigger target on his back. And honestly, I think it could be a situation where we could see another driver try to step up and beat it, where maybe we're not counting on someone else. But if Mays thinks it's going to be Harry, maybe Harry's got a good chance to get a pole here. But don't count your chickens where they hatch, because as Cam's going the wrong way around here, he's looped in the Aston.
He has looped it in the Aston, and Cam is round through turn 1, that was, and Funky Chicken, speaking of chickens, is on a lap as well. He's coming through the first sector, 21.9 through the first sector from Funky Chicken, so looking quite quick in the Williams. Of course, these cars not defined by what they're going to be racing in real life. The tiers and everything have not been sorted yet for TTML, so this is a good understanding and a good way to see who's at what pace at the minute. There's a yellow flag through sector 3, I think that's just somebody preparing up for a lap, but Harry Banks out on top, Cowboy second, Noisy in third, nearly halfway through in qualifying.
Yeah, we are indeed here, and it's been a pretty alright qualifying so far. Only half the field have put down times, and the other half either have not gone out or have been validated, so maybe a little bit of confidence issues, and yeah, we'll have to see how it breaks out here. But as someone that's driven in these games before, it's something where I don't want to leave that lap to the very end, because it's something that just kind of messes with you, because it puts up a shut-up, but if you don't put a time down, you'll be starting 20th, and with such a strong field, it's very hard to dig yourself out of a hole this early.
Yeah, we've had half the grid as well set lap times so far, so goes to show, actually, there's less invalidations around this track, and that's what I was referring to when I was doing my time trial laps. Funky Chicken, however, is on a very good lap here. He's going to be around Scuba Noisy sort of area, I think. Comes across the line. Oh, he goes right in between the middle of them. Goodness me, just call me Mystic James.
Good prediction indeed. Yep, he is now fourth, and now Vettel bumps him down to fifth.
Yeah, Vettel, good lap there in the McLaren, 128.634, 500ths of a second ahead of Funky Chicken. But looking at the top 7 are separated by just over 5.5 tenths of a second. Harry Banks still out on top, of course, Cowboy second, Noisy in third. Cam, I think, is just preparing up for a lap. In fact, he's coming into the pit lane, so we'll ignore that. Yep. Everyone, though, preparing up for their second laps, it seems. Mays is one of them, and it might be one of the next to come across the line, I think.
He is, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Ferrari of Scuba to start his lap. The next one in line will be, I have to try to check the map here. First time, got to get used to some of these new colors and all these other things. It's a Merc, and I believe that is Mays on his outlap starting off, and then Simply Superman just slightly behind. So yeah, we're going to have a bunch of new outlaps starting here with, well, I'd love to tell you how much time is left, but it's blocked by a yellow flag thing. So we'll find out relatively soon. 8 minutes.
Yeah, 8.5 minutes to go, and Scuba's actually 900s up coming through the first sector. We're just on board with them now, coming through turn 6 and through turn 7. The DRS, of course, being enabled, and one feature that I'd like to point out, on the left-hand side, you see the ERS feature, the overtake mode. There is no overtake mode now in Formula 1, or certainly in this game, but they've got to try and deploy the energy as best as possible. So they have that little button that they can press, and you can see when he deploys it, it goes down to about 60% as it is now. But when you go into a corner, of course, you conserve that energy, and that is important, I think, in the ERS feature. I think the top one, if I'm not mistaken, is for deployment on a lap, and then the bottom row of bars is basically when he's breaking into a corner, where he's actually conserving that energy.
Indeed. It's a little something I have to get used to as well, but yeah, that is basically, if I'm not mistaken, is how it works in question. But right now, since they're on a qualifying lap, it's all just getting used. There's no conserve. It's just go, go, go. But yeah, the one downside is it's a little hard to turn off, though, so if you do bail on a lap, you have to quickly try to press it off and save as much as you can in the corners, because with no Rich, you have to just go with a pure pace you have. As Scuba now goes P4 with a 128.628. So looking to try to get the pole position about 2 tenths off. Gonna have to try for that. Gonna have to try to find some more time.
He's going to be nowhere near pole position, because I'm watching Noisy. He's through the middle sector, 4 tenths up. 4 tenths up through the middle sector, 128.5. Could we see a 27 maybe from Noisy coming through the final sector? Harry Banks on top. Yeah, Mates goes into 8th, comes across the line. Oh, it's a 28 flat from Noisy. And that is how you lay the marker down, and that is how you get noticed in TTML.
Well, Harry just started his lap here, so that sets a target to Harry. Now Harry has to be the next man up and has to pull it in the time here. We got 7 minutes to go in qualifying, so if he does bungle it, he does have at least one more attempt to go to put down a good time here. So with 6 minutes to go, everyone's going to get at least one more attempt if they go out now. So make sure you don't waste your energy here. But that's also going to give Noisy one more attempt as well, though, which I don't know if you want to give him after the lap he just put down.
He could probably get 2 attempts, to be honest, as well. If he comes in with about 5 minutes to go and then comes out on a fresh set of softs, he could probably get 2 attempts, or we could wait until about 3-minute marker, come out, and then have one more run. But it depends, really, on the driver. Noisy, though, out on top. Harry Banks in second. Harry Banks was up through the first sector. I didn't catch how much he was in terms of time. Yeah, he was purple in the first sector, but this is where, the middle sector, this is where he should be around Noisy sort of pace. And he's 3 tenths up, 4 tenths up, and now Harry Banks is flying.
Yep, this is going to be an interesting lap indeed here. It looks definitely going to be near the 128.006. Can he break the 127? He's going to have to keep his nerve and keep his foot through the third sector here as the yellow flags are still flying here. Reminds me of the old F1 2015 days. At least the cars aren't lagging. And he's going to go through the last couple corners here. He's got a couple more to go for the pit straight here. Still keeping all his nerve here. This is going to be very interesting to see indeed. Luckily, the McLaren ahead will not interfere too much. As the last corner to go here, going to got to brake as hard as he can, get close to the apex, a little bit of a lockup on the smoke, long run down the line here. It's going to be very close indeed. It's going to be definitely a 128. How high will it be? It's going to be a 127.983. He has broken the 127 mark, and that puts him P1.
Yeah, Harry Banks on top, Noisy in second, but look at how close they are. 17 hundredths of a second separating the top 2 at this stage. Remember, we've still got the guys in the set of mediums, the likes of Break FN, the likes of Wesker, Bunty, and Graham still out on a lap. And Graham is actually out there on a lap, but he's invalid, and he's getting, well, he's following an Alpine, and that is Honey Badger that he is following out on track. Both of them are coming into the pit lane.
P3. Cam just went P3,
oh, wow.
So after that little spin on a lap there, he came out into another lap, and he's able to get P3, so looks like he's found some pace. He's actually not that far off as well, so if he can quickly get back to pit lane, he can get one more attempt at this, and maybe even challenge to be a spoiler for pole.
41 hundredths, I think I make that, separating the top 3 now, which is absolutely unbelievable. Of course, we have got the Red Bull, the AlphaTauri, and the Aston Martin. Aston Martin, of course, reformed from Racing Point, and it's good to see a good old British manufacturer in Formula 1. And Cam certainly providing the best of the Brits at the minute. Well, he's not best of the Brits, because Harry, of course, is out on top.
Yep, indeed. So only 3 drivers currently on track as Car and Rob has just come in. So only 2 drivers left. We know Harry's on a slow down lap, and I assume Cam is as well. So only drivers currently going out there to put down times right now on out laps is Vettel, County, and Kiki. And Vettel just started his lap, so he'll be one to watch.
Yeah, Vettel is one to watch, and we're on board with him as he now comes down in towards turn number 1, and then through turn number 2. He can really take the curb more aggressively there and not pick up an invalidation on a lap. So Vettel's now coming through in towards turn 3, through turn 4, and then through the right-hander of turn 5, and we'll see the first sector split just after this corner. And the first sector split is 21.8. He's a 10th up already, and if you can try and find and not run wide there, he's still valid on this lap. Comes through turn 7, and if you can find time in the middle sector, then that's all that remains to be seen. Will he be able to get up to the likes of Cam? I doubt it, maybe.
I doubt it, but I definitely think right now he's on pace to at least get 4th. I think that's a good number to see indeed here, but I think he needs a miracle, or he needs to find as much time as he can to get into the top 3. But considering he went wide in that one corner, I doubt it's going to be on this run. Now he's only 22 thousandths up, so yeah, even now it doesn't look like P4 could be out of the question.
Yeah, it's cost him quite a lot for running wide. He was a 10.5 up through the first sector, so he's lost a 10.25 through the middle sector, and now this is where the final sector really kicks in, and he's spun into the wall, and he's out of the session, and that's... Yeah, that's the new damage model coming into play there as well. It would have been a crash anyways, I think, but Vettel is out of the session, and he can no longer improve, so he has to hope that nobody behind him improves.
That shows you how hard they're pushing to get times here. Even though it's a social, there's no off switch for drivers. Even when you look at the SRX series and a bunch of other series as well, there's no off switch for these drivers. They go out there, they compete, and they want to win. So even the Vettel, if this doesn't count for points, he still wants to go out there and put down a good time, and it cost him dearly there, but hope he can at least stay inside the top 10.
Kiki is just invalidated coming out the end of the middle sector. He's got one more run, I think. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. Don't worry about that whatsoever. 2 minutes to go in the session. Harry Banks out on top, Noisy second, Cam in third. And Cam actually has just put a comment in the comment section just before he went back out on track. And he said that he changed his controller FFB for my first lap as he couldn't feel traction control.
Oh, that is quite interesting indeed. As Kiki's going to start a second lap here. The problem is all this traffic coming out of the pit lane here. That could cost him some time indeed to put down a second lap. So Kiki may be kind of screwed, if you will, on any chance to gain some time here. But maybe he'll find something with the toe he can get. But yeah, a lot of drivers coming out of pit lane right now. Gearing up for one more go with 1:38 left. This is going to be it. This is put up or shut up time.
Mad Jonas has set a really good first sector, I've got to say. 21.6. Through the first sector for Mad Jonas. I think Harry Banks was a 21.8, maybe? So Mad Jonas could already be ahead of Harry Banks on this lap, and he was sensational in Division 2 last season of TTML. He ran very close, actually, to getting a top 5 position in the end, and he joined halfway through the season. And he's 48.8, so he's there or thereabouts to the likes of Noid, to the likes of Cam.
He is indeed, but slow car ahead, like he'll get off the way here again. But he hasn't put down a lap yet, though, so I don't know if he's even made an attempt yet. But it is worth noting that maybe he's had some problems keeping it clean, because if he has put some times down, it's kind of odd that he hasn't put down a good time yet. Maybe he's been really pushing to find that time, though. I know some other drivers that just really go for it and invalidate a lot of the quali laps here. But he's coming through the last couple corners here. It does look good. It's definitely going to be top half. He definitely probably even jump his teammate at the lap he's going, but we'll see here. Does the target shift, or does Harry hold on for one more lap? We're going to see here, it's going to be definitely a 128. It's going to be a 128.053, and that's P4 just behind Cam.
Really good lap time, I've got to say, from Mad Jonas, and that puts him less than a tenth of a second of Harry Banks, and Harry Banks is preparing up for a lap. Maze, by the way, has said in the comment section that he didn't manage to set a lap because he didn't have enough time. He's on the threshold at the minute in P10. Conti, however, on a lap, Wesker on a lap, and Wesker's 3/10ths up through the first sector, so he might be a one to watch as we go forward. Kiki's into the pit lane, Honey Badger has invalidated, Matt Tibos is coming through the end of the middle
some
sector.
drivers aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Because I was just noticing the time is coming down in 3, 2, 1. I'm looking at this right. A lot of drivers aren't making it. It looks like some drivers haven't made it to their run here, including Maze, Burnley, Graham, Kiki, and Dan Morris. So a little bit of miscommunication there. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, again, with the yellow flag thing. Hopefully there's a way to move that, because we can't even see the time.
I know, I might have a go at changing about my telemetry settings, maybe, and in terms of my user interface, I have to say. Matt Tibos, however, is on a really good lap here. Comes across the line, goes third. Really good lap by Matt Tibos, puts him there or thereabouts. Of course, he's filling in for Vettel, I believe. It is TTG Vettel, I believe he's filling in for. Kiki's left the session. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. Harry Banks is invalid coming through, and I believe I saw Noisy up in the middle sector.
Yeah, he is. We're going to see here. I didn't get a good look here. I was kind of looking for the rest of the drivers in the field, see if any other, I wouldn't say surprise stories, but any drivers really putting that time. Some invalidated, some not. As Scuba, I think Wesker just jumped the P, if I'm not mistaken, so... We're going to see here in question if Noisy can jump Harry, because if Harry has invalidated, so his time is done. But Noisy's coming through the last couple corners here. It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. He's 800 stand out of the middle sector and now runs through the final corner. I don't think this is an improvement. Noisy runs the line, and it's not an improvement. He lost time through the final corner, and that means Harry Banks is on pole position, and that is the end of qualifying. Honey Badger just to retire. Harry Banks out on top. Noisy second. Matt Tibos in third. Top 5 separated by 5/600ths of a second. Welcome back to TTML, everyone.
This is the driver standings you see when you come to TTML, and this is only some of the drivers. Remember, all the other leagues have a bunch of other drivers that weren't either not able to make it or sadly couldn't make it. And we know this, like I think off the top of my head, Mishiro, a few others as well that are just going to be dominating as well. So this is the top of the crop. You got still another half just not here yet. So good luck to the drivers that come.
Yeah, you've got the likes of Jojo, who I believe has signed up as well, which is fantastic. I believe, however, Jojo esports seat. So that could be quite big. Of course, he won the Division 1 Championship last time out. That's new to the left-hand side, by the way. The driver's face. Harry Banks out on top, 17/100ths of a second, separating him and Noisy. It's the sister cars on the front row. Both Aston Martins 3rd and 4th, Matt Tibos and Cam. Mad Jonas in 5th, 600ths off Harry Banks in the end. Callboy and Simply Superman 6th and 7th for the Irish. Corwin Robb in 8th for the Welsh in the Red Bull, Wesker in 9th, Scuba in 10th, Vettel in 11th, Funky Chicken in 12th. We'll run down the rest of the field now. Mays in 13th, Break FN in 14th, Conti 15th, Bunty 16th, Graham 17th, Kiki 18th. Honey Badger didn't get a competitive time in, were 134 flat in 19th. Dan Morris didn't even get a time in at all, so he starts right at the back of the field. But it just comes to show, top 12 separated by just under 7/10 of a second.
You're correct indeed. That is very interesting indeed. A lot of drivers very close. I know you see it at tracks like Austria and a few others all the time, but yeah, that just shows you the competitiveness and the closeness of the drivers in this field.
And we have to remind you of what this track is all about. Of course, this used to be a testing track. It still is a testing track. It's also used for the GT3 and for the European Le Mans Series. However, tonight it's used for the TTML social race, which is more important than any of those that I've just mentioned. Of course, 27 laps awaiting these drivers around a 5.8km circuit. 2 DRS zones, plenty of overtaking opportunities, especially down the Mistral straight in towards the chicane node at turns 8 and 9. But I want to hear from you guys at home, you guys in the comment section. Who are you going for your win? Who are you going for your top 3? And I'm going to throw an extra one in. Who are you going for driver of the day?
Ooh, those are some hard questions. I'd love to see how there's a lot of viewers in the chat right now. I'd love to hear what they have to say about it. But one thing I did catch my eye looking at the chat here is Carmelis is saying he could have been on pole. So a little cockiness from one of our former commentators. I think still is doing some other leagues for us as well. So I think he's going to have a little bit of a brag coming into the next time he's in the booth here. So may need to bring that ego just a bit down or maybe keep it up because that's something that's good to see.
Well, if he wants to show us what he's made of, why don't I challenge him, maybe, to sign up to TTML next season? If he already hasn't, of course.
If he hasn't already, indeed. I know he'd smoke me, because I know I'm somewhat fast, but coming into seeing these TTML times puts your times in perspective, like, oh, I thought I was fast. Oh, that was a big fish in a small pond. This is the great white.
A lot of comments coming in, by the way, about people saying who's going to be on pole position, well, who's going to win the race. Scuba to win. Simon says Cam is going to win, and Neymar's obviously put a fire comment to that as well. Noisy for the win. Top 3, Noisy, Harry and Funky Chicken. Driver of the day from Neymar, Funky Chicken. Top 10, qualifying of course on that set of soft compounded tyres. Further down the field we've got Mays on a set of softs. One stop is possible if he can go onto a set of hards from around lap 7, lap 8. On a set of mediums, Vettel, Funky Chicken, Break FN, Conti, Bunty, Graham and Kiki, Honey Badger and Dan Morris further down the field on a set of hards. They're starting 19th and 20th. But Harry Banks on pole position, the top 10 of course qualifying on a set of softs. It's quite interesting to see. Harry Banks, one of the quickest men in EML. Scuba, Division 2 champion, former Division 2 champion, down in 10th.
Yeah, indeed. Didn't get really that good lap here, but we know Scuba can pull something out of the bag. I know some from the F2 series last year and a few other leagues as well. Very fast driver. Maybe likes when the pressure's on. No one's not saying people writing him off, but this low, people are kind of doubting him. Now he's going to be able to kind of show up here and show what he's made of.
Definitely show what we're made of, and of course everyone's got to show what they're made of, and hopefully the driving standards we expect of course in TTML to be not perfection, but we expect them to be good, and hopefully the TTML social race will set the standard and will set the flag bearer, appropriately with the Olympics coming up tomorrow, of what this is going to entail on League Racing TV in the other leagues of course that we're going to be covering on the channel as well. But Pepsi, I'm coming across to you. Who's your top 3?
We'll make this quick here. I'm gonna be kind of not originally. I'm gonna go Harry, Noisy, and then I'm gonna go for a wild card for my third one. Let's go Scuba getting the last third, and we'll also give him driver of the day as well.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Harry Banks for the win. Matt Sibos, if he's consistent, will get second. Mad Jonas for third. Driver of the day for me. If he's quick, Break FN, down in 14th position. Watch out for him, because he might just be a little bit of an unknown quantity. The 5 red lights are about to go out very soon indeed here, as they come on in the gantry for the first race on League Racing TV on F1 2021. And it's lights out and away we go, and Harry Banks gets a very good start. Noisy was slightly quicker in the reactions, and he now took into the slipstream running down the field. We already get a graphic switch on the left-hand side, running down in towards Sermon, and there's contact between Harry Banks and Noisy. They both make contact, and there's carnage further down the field. Kiki, I think, has been caught up an instant further down the field, and yeah, Noisy, I think, was caught up in that as well, obviously with Harry Banks, but Harry Banks is 1.2 seconds clear, coming towards the end of the first sector split. Cam is in second, Mad Jonas, I should say, in third. He's just behind Matt Tibos, I believe, with the graphics to the left-hand side. They'll correct themselves now, and we get to see who's on top, and it's Harry Banks out on top, Cam in second, Matt Tibos in third. Carnage off the start, though.
Yep, Noisy tried to go a little aggressive there, and sadly he went wrong way around, and luckily, if ghosting was on, and he just got lucky, no one hit him. So, very lucky indeed. Now he's down 26 seconds back. He's definitely going to need a safety car here to get back in this race here, but very fast driver. Not what you want to see here. Is now Dan Morris for me is 1 lap down. Love these new Codemasters games.
The good old graphics. We're on lap 2 apparently as well, which is Colin, Rob and Cowboy going side by side up the hill, as well as Scuba. Scuba's up to 7th, and he's tackling at Vettel, who's got a very good start as well from 11th on the grid. So Vettel up to 11th, Scuba up to 7th from 10th on the grid. So Vettel really gaining quite a few positions along with Scuba, and these two are now battling out for 6th and 7th. Particular pit stop strategy looks like a 2-stop. Don't trust the AWS graphics though, we never do here in TTML. Bunty going side by side with Break FN further down the field. Little bit of rubbing on the green. I think the Haas is struggling there, possibly out on track, as Graham now looks to the inside line. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 and Noisy is spun coming through turn 11 and 12. So Noisy is now pretty much out of contention, I would say. Coming to the end of lap 1 though, onto lap 2. Harry Banks leads, but his gap is only about 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, indeed. Again, my time is still a little bit screwed up, so I'll take your word on that one.
Oh, Honeyback's
actually retired. Yeah, I was about to say Honeyback's retired in the pit lane though, so he has called it a day.
That's not in the pit lane. That's a turn 1.
It's not? Oh, it is.
That's
yeah, my
map's...
for some reason thought that was the pit lane there. I was looking at my map, took a quick glance. Oh, that looks like he's off in the pit lane. No, he's off in turn 1. That's dead straight, so he just went on.
I can only imagine he's had some sort of controller issue, wheel issue maybe. I don't know. Unless there was contact with another driver we didn't see.
8 to cut that off. There we got Simple Superman and Coreboy battle. It's now Honeybadger's left, so we'll have to get a word from him at the end of this. We got the Red Bull here as well, trying to find a way around side by side the Alfa Romeo of Coreboy and Superman going into that hairpin there, and it's going to be Coreboy holding on. Superman going to lose spot here, and will the Red Bull of Rob be able to cup out the slaps and get past Superman?
I think he can. He's right on the back of the Irishman. In fact, there's 2 Irishmen in front of him. It's a bit like the Six Nations. Simply Superman on the inside line. Carwin Rob, though, trying to go all the way around the outside through turn 11 and then through 12. And he hasn't got anywhere to go because he's boxed in by Cowboy. Cowboy now goes, and now Carwin Rob has to settle for 10th position. Or does he? Down the inside he goes. What does the commentator know? He gets the move done. There's a little bit of snap of oversteer, I think that was, from Simply Superman. It doesn't make a difference. Carwin Rob had right away the corner. He's through and he's into 9th.
Simple Superman's had a little bit of a rough start. He was up there high in the grid now. He's now down 10th, and now got pressure from Maze there. So Simple Superman, not the worst start. We could put that down to Noisy, sadly. But Simple Superman probably needs to get refired here and get some pressure because maybe he's just having trouble on the high fuel loads. Because I feel like some drivers haven't gotten used to that high fuel yet as well with the new handling model. So maybe it's catching a few drivers out as well.
Yeah, it is, and the curbs are quite deadly as well on this game, but it's all in the case. I've got to say, though, not like my other commentaries that we've had, we had a lot of spinners in Belgium, and I commentated around there in Belgium. Around here in France, though, I'm very surprised. Everyone is pretty much still within DRS range, and the man that is in DRS range is Mad Jonas. On the back of Matt Tibos, this is for 3rd position. Cam also catching Harry Banks, but this is the more immediate move. Mad Jonas to the inside line, and Matt Tibos gets the move done. Vettel in behind him, Wesker gets the move done. And we're already seeing a lot of overtakes, and Maze is through on Simply Superman. Down the inside he goes, and Matt Tibos is back through on Mad Jonas, in fact, so I think he's got the switch back, and now Mad Jonas is going to try and go all the way around the outside. Job done. The McLaren is through and he's into 3rd with Cam all over the back of Harry Banks.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover here. I'm looking to the back of the field while you were covering the front there. Let's keep that big train there from 10th on back and a big DRS train. Now we got the Alpine County going to try to pass Simply Superman. All still going wrong for Superman, trying to hang around the outside here.
Lovely
if
move.
he makes a mistake, it may open up the door for Buntley or even Funky Chicken to get on by as well.
Yeah, lovely move by Conti. He's through and he's into 11. Simply Superman, a little bit of Constantina in behind. Funky Chicken just caught the back of Simply Superman. So the Chicken trying to outdo a superhero. You don't even see that no often in TTML. Bunty's right on the back of Break FN. Nearly went into the back of Bunty there as well. And he's actually down the inside line out of the final corner. And Cam...
Yeah, big...
Ooh. I thought Cam was outside there, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, big battle here in the back here. All of them really under a big blanket here. One little mistake or one little Consti effect, and that could take out a couple cars here. As Funky Chicken's a little squirrely, and that could have been that. Almost on ice. Could have easily highwayed up there and caused some incidents. Now Coreboy gets the first penalty of TTML's new season.
Yeah, Bunty down the inside line as well, and Funky Chicken further down the field. He's through and he's into 14th. Callboy, as you say, has picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. So comes to show the corner cutting is working on this game. Break FN, though, on the back of Simply Superman. I said he might have been quick. I really didn't doubt
I want to come back to the lead here. Sorry to cut you off. We got a battle for the lead between Ham and Cam, as it looks like Cam was just on the back of Harry here with DRS, and now it looks like he's got a chance to make a lunch here going to the next corner.
He might do, I think, if Cam... Oh, he's actually going to go for the move. Down the inside line he goes, and he's through. Cam down the inside line. Caught me a bit by surprise, that, to be honest. I thought he would have actually tried to stay in, but now Harry Banks to the inside line. Coming through turn 12, doesn't get the move done, and Cam is through and into the lead of the race, as Bunty and Kiki have picked up penalties.
Yep, indeed. Again, we know that people could stack up penalties quickly here if you're just not careful, trying to push too hard, and the strict can cut you out here. But, yeah, very easy to make some mistakes.
Very easy to make some mistakes. A certain Mercedes apparently was thanked for that DNF, says Mr. Honeybadger, Mr. Tom Zackett there in the comment section. And that, I'm assuming, is Simply Superman, maybe, because he was around that sort of area. But I'm sure, well, the stewards would investigate it, but it's not. It's a social race.
Yeah, it's a social race. I thought it was Maze instead. Wasn't Maze lower the grid than Superman? But I could be wrong on that one.
Oh,
I have to check the start myself. But anyway, we got Cowboy and Rob battle. We'll focus on that instead of doing simple remembering.
Down the inside line goes Colin Robbie, tries to get the move done, but Callboy is back through and he's into 8th position. There's a yellow flag. It's Kiki that is
Kiki looped it off the last corner there. He's missing his wing.
Yeah, he's missing his wing indeed, and the damage is working definitely with Honeybadger obviously out of the session. Cam, though, leading the way. Harry Banks in second, Mad Jonas in third. Top two have pulled away quite considerably from the back of Mad Jonas. It's 2 seconds now on the run down and towards the Mistral straight. On the run down towards there. Scuba and Wesker, two very good old rivals in TTML Division 2, are now going at it. The Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. Ferrari is through on the AlphaTauri, and here comes another former TTML Division 2 driver from last season, Callboy.
Oh,
right on the back, and look at Scuba and Wesker.
There.
Look at that, he forced them pretty much across track, but it's not going to be close enough because Wesker is through, down the inside line. Good, fair, clean racing, I've got to say, between them both. They know their limits, they are really respectful. Out on track, Wesker through and he's into 6th.
A lot of these drivers, I was knowing about the blinking lights, Scuba, Coreboy, and Rob, all have raced use a lot of their ERS here. They're down at least 10%, as you can tell by the blinking lights. They really need to save some more here, but something else is Wesker's got a lot left in the tank, so very interesting indeed. Now it looks like Wesker's coming into pit lane, so it looks like he's going to try to go for the undercut.
He is, undercut is quite potent around here. Colin Rob's down the inside line of Callboy as well. Welshman against Irishman, like the Six Nations, and Scuba, in fact, it is. That is right beside him. So Colin Rob, I think, got through on Callboy, actually, and is now going for the overtake on Scuba. My apologies, he's around the outside, job done. The Welshman is through, and he's into stick, showing really good pace.
He is indeed, he is indeed. Something else that just crossed my mind here as I was watching those battles here is, I remember the new damage model, it's not just front wing damage, you can get rear damage, side pod damage, or anything else. So it makes me wonder, since we can't really tell, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, if any of the drivers in the back of the pack, maybe like Simply Superman for instance, may have some side damage that we can't really pick up on the commentary.
Yeah, and that's where the TAS system, I think, really comes into play. Of course, the TAS system will be had for Division 1 and Division 2 of TTML going forward this season. So, both tiers being covered. And, of course, both of them on the same night as well, which means my good old co-commentator Luke Etheridge is saying goodbye to me, which is terrible. And I'm getting Paco Suarez, of course, commentating alongside being Division 1.
I hate to bring that up, but I think I'm the home wrecker here because I'm partnering up with Luke, so I'm the home wrecker, so sorry about that.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Giving me, well, justice. We need justice for me, I think, on Division 1. But we'll see how that is all going to
unfold. I'm the new trophy wife. He gave me a nice Mercedes.
Yeah, both streams are going to... Both streams, I should say, are going to have graphics as well. So Luke is doing his own graphics. So that's really good, I think, from our perspective. And from viewers, as Break FN goes into the back of Maze and spins.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the pit stops there. I didn't even see that. That is not good.
Not good indeed. And yeah, Cam is into the pit lane. Callboy also into the pit lane. So let's watch Cam's pit stop. He's into the pit lane. And in fact, he's coming out of the pit lane, I should say. So Cam is coming out. He's on a fresh set of mediums. And they should possibly get to the end of the race. 20 laps should be possible, I think.
It's possible, but I don't know how well those mediums will take it, though, because 20 laps is always questionable on mediums, especially on some longer tracks here, so he's going to have to be a little bit more conservative than some other drivers. So, yep, long way around there. Looks like that is Funky Chicken. So Funky Chicken looped it in turn 1. I think he may have had a little contact with the Merc, or maybe he just lost in his own, because Simply Superman did seem a little bit slow off entry.
Yeah, indeed, and Harry Banks leads the way, but where is Cam out? He's out in 14th position, and the gap between the leader and Cam, 21.7 seconds. Pit stop around here is about 22 seconds. Maze is through on Scuba. Never thought I'd say that. Maze is through on Scuba. He's through and he's into 6th position.
Yep, Mays made a good pass. They're similar to Hamilton and Verstappen at the real race here. And now Mays is going to try to get far enough away with pit stops happening. You want to get as much time as you can as that Wesker has passed Funky Chicken. So Funky Chicken's all gone wrong for him. But yeah, 14's on back. They've all pitted already. But right now, Harry trying to get as much time as he can as Matt Jonas is under pressure from Tibos and Vettel as well. So he may want to pit sooner than later, but the Red Bull is going to stay out for one more lap. Same thing with the McLaren. Actually, McLaren's jumping in. That was a very late move there. So Jonas was almost pit by the pit lane, just couldn't cut in. So no pedaling, no nothing, but very late call indeed.
Yeah, it's a social race, to be honest, so the stewards aren't going to be looking at this, but I'm sure it's going to be noted. In terms of the pit entry, certainly around this track, you've got to take the pit entry, of course, to the right-hand side. If not, you'll probably get a penalty and incur a bit of penalty points as well as a result. Mad Jonas, by the way, is coming out the pit lane. There is Cam going past him. So Cam has already passed him, and he's got about 4 or 5 seconds, I would say, over Mad Jonas coming out of the pit lane. And yeah, it's going to be about 5 seconds when he comes out of the pits. And Mad Jonas, crucially though, ahead of Wesker.
Yeah, indeed. Right now, gap is still about 20 seconds from Cam to Harry, though, so Harry could still be relatively close coming into pit lane here. Harry's not making that much inroads, but the problem is if Cam stays a little bit longer... Oh,
Vettel's on the back of
wrong way around.
Matt.
Oh, we got Scuba flipping it. He lost it off turn 1, the cold tires.
He lost it on a set of hards as well, so Colin Roberts now through, Scuba down into 6th. 3, well, I was commentating on there, though, was Vettel. Vettel is through on Matt Tibos, and it comes to show mediums are now beginning to come into place. Funky Chicken has crashed out on track, coming out of turn 6 and 7.
He has indeed. I'll try to cut into the Mercury.
Oh, right on side.
Where he is. Yeah, right on the outside, indeed. So it looks like he went on wide. I saw a couple drivers do that, so just a mistake.
Just a mistake indeed. I don't think anyone was around him again. He's another driver that was struggling, I think, for his tyre wear on a set of medium compounded tyres. Harry Banks, by the way, still staying out. I think he's going to commit to lap 10 and go for a set of mediums, because I think that's probably the better strategy.
Well, Tibos is coming in as well. Oh, Tibos got a puncture. Not to cut it off, but if you look on Tibos, look, look at his right front.
No. Oh, he has.
Look at it.
From my puncture.
It's wobbling. Yeah, he suffered. I guess the softs can only go 9 laps. So that's the question: is if he got a puncture, what does that do for Harry's tires?
Harry's going to be in trouble on to lap 9. That's the end of lap 8, by the way.
Yeah.
And you could normally make a set of soft compounded tyres go to at least 9 or 10 laps around here. So that's quite shocking, and it just comes to show tyre management has changed on the game as well.
Indeed, I didn't even believe it until I saw him. Like, oh, that was kind of shocking indeed. Now Harry, though, still a long way up, but he's now 18 seconds, so he needs to pit sooner rather than later, because Cam's already closed in 2 seconds, and he's going to be losing more and more time the longer he stays out.
Yeah, he's going to be undercut for sure, but does that mean Harry Banks is going to undercut Cam towards the end of the race if Cam's tyres can't get to the end? Remains to be seen. Graham's right on the back of Bunty.
True indeed, but he can't afford a puncture, because we just saw what happened to the Tibos.
Yeah, he might have been riding the curbs a bit too aggressively as well. That's what you've got to take into consideration with Matt Tibos. He might have just been riding the curbs a little bit too aggressively, which has then forced the puncture, because the curbs are quite deadly on this game, and they can produce punctures. What is Harry Banks going to do, though? On lap 9 out of 27, a third of the way through this social race, what is Harry Banks going to do? Is he going to come into the pit lane? Yes, he is now in, and he can't afford to lose a single second coming into this pit stop. He is going to be behind Cam. I think he's going to be behind Mad Jonas as well.
That's 21 seconds. It's going to be close. How fast can the Red Bull crew get him out here? Because we know they're relatively good for fast pit stops, but it is kind of a little bit random. He's going on a set of hards. So he doesn't think the mediums can make it to the end, so he's good to go to the end regardless. But can he make it work? As now County jumps him, Buntley jumps him, Cam's dumped him, Dan Morris break. Cam's definitely going to jump him, but it's going to be close between Mad Jonas. So keep an eye on the right of the screen. As Mad Jonas is about to come just cross the line, we'll keep an eye on the Red Bull. Yep.
Got ahead of him.
You got ahead of him, so that's going to be 2 spots lost. Tibos is not going to jump him. I do wonder if that puncture may have cost him.
He's just got through, though, on Wesker down the straight. Matt Tibos is through into the points. He's into 10th position. Wesker now down into 11th. And, of course, in TTML, we run 1st to 19th in terms of the point system. But natural Formula 1 points, I think, really do apply here in the social race. 1 to 10 are the points. But Vettel out on top, Conti second, Bunty in third. Let's have a look at the penalties in question. Everyone in the top 5 bar Graham, who's just overtaken Bunty, down in towards the chicane. No, gets the move done, and actually Dan Morris has tried to come in on Bunty as well, and Bunty will feel like he's been forced off track there, to be honest. Break now on the back of him, and it's now nearly 2x2 Noah's Ark we go up the hill in towards turn number 10. But penalties wise, Vettel, Conti, Dan Morris and Bunty all have 3-second penalties. Callboy Carwin Roberts got a 3-second penalty as well, as there goes Dan Morris down the inside line of Graham.
Oh, Dan Morris got squirrely.
It got cut up there on the inside, I think it's the fair, and Graham was not having that one whatsoever, and Dan Morris and Graham go a long way back, certainly in the TMC days, and yeah, Bunty is side by side with them, and now he's through. Bunty's through and he's into fourth, Dan Morris losing time.
Brake probably saw that, was ahead of him, was like, I do not want a part of that, I'm going for the undercut here, this is not my fight to fight here. But it's just watching that battle there is just bringing flashbacks to when I used to drive, and also in iRacing as well, on those tight ovals, where you just got like one little sneeze, next thing you know, there goes the whole field. So a little bit of PTSD flashbacks getting triggered, and it's just something I'm kind of glad I'm in the booth, not in the cockpit.
Definitely. Matt Tibos, by the way, I'm just looking at his hards. Are they quicker than Wesker's mediums? Because he's pulling away.
That could be the case, but it makes me wonder if it's a setup thing as well. Maybe just driving standards. Maybe Tibbles is just slightly faster than Wesker. And that would be kind of an insult, but if you can't catch our mediums, but if we check the tires, how old they are 5 laps, 2 laps. So unless the mediums really fall off that quickly, which would not be the case, because, I mean, we got the top 4 all on mediums. So on 10-lap-old mediums. So it makes you think. Maybe he's just better ERS management? But yeah, he's got about 20%, but actually, Wesker's got more, so he should be faster on the straights.
He should be. He's got 40-50% basically running through the Mistral straight into the chicane node. He can now deploy that, but he's not deploying that at all. Matt Tibos isn't either. So I think Matt Tibos has got a pace advantage and maybe a tyre advantage, but I think it's more of a pace advantage. 2 Irishmen further down the field, though. Simply Superman and Scuba. We've got a Refinette glitch on Scuba.
I just realized something. Matt Jones is on a set of softs, which means he's going for a 2-stop.
He is. He is going to go for a 2-stop, but how long will those tyres last? The Scuba tries to go all the way around the outside of Simply Superman through turn 10. Now through turn 11, Mercedes and Ferrari. Old school fashion Formula 1 fight between Mercedes and Ferrari as we now come through turn number 11 and then in towards turn number 12. And Simply Superman defends off Scuba as Kiki is out of the session as Crash could be through turn 7.
Yeah, he's at the inside wall, so again, he's looped it and just lost the wrong way around and it just hit the wall. So, something maybe similar to Honey Badger, not Honey Badger, I mean Funky Chicken, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and the curbs are quite prone as well on this game, and Kiki obviously feeling that it's still very young in terms of the game cycle, so obviously the tyres and everything are going to improve as the game goes on. Here's Cam, by the way, he's caught the front leaders, and now he's on the back of Dan Morris, and he looks to the outside line on Bunty. Oh, Dan Morris, I should say, he's within the slipstream of Bunty. He looks to the inside line, fresher tyres, should have traction, job done.
I saw him put the hand in the cockpit. That means they touched a little bit. He put up the same thing since 2013. When they touch, hand goes up. So it looks like there was at least a little bit of touch between Cam and Morris.
Yeah, Cam and Dan Morris, of course, making contact there, but Cam is through. Doesn't detract away from the fact he is through and he's into 4th position out on track. Maze and Break FN are having a good battle further down the field. Mercedes and Haas, of course, represented by Nikita Mazepin. Less we say about him, the better, I think, in TTML. But Break, hopefully not going to channel in and Nikita Mazepin. He's on the back of Maze, and Maze is looking quite quick, I've got to say, on this game.
Oh, top 3 have pitted, but yeah, he does look a little bit fast indeed here. Again, early in the cycle, some drivers take to it quicker than others. Some take longer, some take shorter, so maybe he's jumped to it quickly. But now the lead should jump to, well, actually, Cam. Yeah, it should go up to Cam, if I'm not mistaken. That timing got a little screwed up there, but yeah, Cam is going to be taking up pole position, lead position right now. But Jonas is not making that many inroads on those softs. You think he should be. He's 3 back, and it's really not closing in.
The man you've got to watch out for, though, later on in this race is Vettel. Vettel's 1.6 seconds off the back of Callboy. Those tyres are going off. He is not going to be too far off that battle with Matt Tibos and the likes in a couple of laps' time. Vettel, despite him having a penalty, is probably the man to watch.
True indeed. Remember, we know that for at least a fact, assuming that Cam and Wesker and Callboy can make those tires last, we know Jonas is definitely coming back in, Morris is definitely pitting, Cam, Wesker, and Callboy all question marks. The only drivers we know are good to go to the end right now are Harry and Tibos, so he could easily be on pace for a podium if he can put the pace down.
Yeah, Harry Banks is 2.7 seconds off the back of Mad Jonas. He's 3.5 seconds off ahead of Matt Tibos. He's in a bit of no man's land, to be honest, at this stage. Mad Jonas, you could argue the same. Matt Tibos, you could argue the same. But, crucially, Matt Tibos is Mason Graham, I think that was.
I was
the
about to say,
an eye on.
Mason Grahams. Yep, they were battling side by side there, indeed. Now County's here as well. All three fighting for 11th. Not for F1 points, but at least for TTML points, as Graham going to try to hang it around the inside here. Can he get the slide job to make the pass work? Still side by side. Graham's trying everything, but very late on the brakes. County is trying to find as much time as he can get.
Graham's through, though, and he's into 11. Really good move there by Graham, and good fighting, good defending from Mays as well. Vettel, 3-second penalty.
Not helping his case. Not helping his case, indeed.
I think that's 6 or 9 seconds now that he might have in the McLaren. Conti is on the back, though, of Mays, and he looks to try and get this move done.
It is 6 seconds for Vettel right now. Biggest penalty leader right now is actually Corboy, just ahead of him with 9.
Yeah, Corboy on 9. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to fall into clutches. Maybe break FN. Graham further down the field, and Graham is the man that we are nearly on board with. It's Conti that we're on board with, of course, in the Alpine. He's on the back of Mays. P12 and 13 out on track. Mad Jonas, however, up the field in 3rd position. 1.9 seconds off the back of Dan Morris. He's cut the time down by 0.6 of a second in the last lap. But it's not enough to try and get onto the back, as Callboy, in fact, is trying to get onto the back of Wesker. This is for P6. Doesn't get the move done, though.
Indeed. But no real toe there, because West has got Tibos' slipstream ahead of him, so really nowhere to go for him. So they're all kind of nice little train here. But we just saw from previous lobbies, it looks like the gearbox glitch is back, at least for me. Yep, they have not fixed that, which is kind of sad. But anyway, as Corboy is going to try something here, nowhere to go, because Wester's getting the toe from ahead of him. And if he tries to go outside, there'll be Tibos. If he tries to go inside, that will be Wesker.
I've just realised, actually, I've got sound. Oh, Callboy nearly spun out. Oh, goodness me. Good recovery by Callboy. Got caught on the curb on the exit of turn 11. And again, those rears look like they're overheating. So those mediums are not lasting as long as what people might think. And look at that. He's into the pit lane.
And I was going to say, add insult to injury, he just got another 3 to go. But actually, yeah, Corboy's just pitted here on 7-lap-old mediums, so it makes you think. Because let's use Dan Morris as an example here. He's on hards. He's been hard since the start of the race, and he's gone 14 laps. And he's losing time because he's not the fastest driver in the world, no offense to Mr. Dan Morris. But he is getting caught, but it is still lasting. So maybe that's going to put Harry better than it will Cam, because Cam's on 8-lap-old mediums, and if Corboy just pitted on 7-lap-old mediums, can even make it to the end?
I don't think he can. He's put on a set of mediums. It just depends on how good his tyre wear actually is. He's behind Noisy. He's on 8-lap-all mediums, so he is on sufferance on 8-lap-all mediums, the same as what Callboy did in that last
Cam's
stint.
got 3.
Cam, yeah, 3 seconds.
That's definitely going to help Harry and a few other drivers as well. So that's something you want to do when you're leading here. That is just a mistake, a rookie mistake, if you will, even though Cam's not really a rookie. But, yeah, that's not good to see here. But what's interesting to know...
But his brake FN, on the back of Corwin Rob, down the inside line he goes, down the Mistral straight, down into the chicane node. Good move there by Brake FN. Didn't need a brake check at all. Brake is through, but still Corwin Rob is going to try and fight side by side. He's got 6% of VOS. He needs to tuck into the slipstream to try and get this run up the hill in towards turn number 10. He could be side by side in towards 11 if he's got the pace, but look at that. He's only got 2% ERS. Needs to save that up. Brake runs wide to actually affect, and now Corwin Rob down the inside line. The Welshman and the Dutchman fighting that out on track. Dan Morris is in. Mad Jonas on 7-lap-old softs is in as well. So Corwin Rob and Brake, though, are having a right set here, and Corwin Rob is back ahead.
I was going to say, as before this battle's happening here, is that Matt Jones was on 7-lap-old softs, and it looked like he wasn't struggling too much there, so it makes you think, is the medium's kind of the cursed tire around here? But he decided to jump in there, so because we over on 8 laps, that's when the Aston Martin had that tire puncture, and the softs go about 8 laps, so playing conservatively.
Yeah, who do you think, by the way, is actually going to win this race? Because Wesker is on 10-lap-old mediums, Cam on 9-lap-old, Corwin Rob on 8-lap-old. They're surely not going to get to the end.
I think it's Harry. I think Harry right now is the man to beat, and if something happens to Harry, because he's on the freshest medium of the pack there, it looks like someone's looped. That's Matt Jonas. He's looped it similar to what happened to Scuba coming out the pit lane there. So, and he was also on mediums well, Scuba, and I think he was in a set of hards. So drivers are looping it coming out of pit lane. That's the second driver to do it. So cold tires are really having an effect.
And hards are better than mediums, it seems as well. Vettel is through on Wesker and he's into 4th position. And Break FN is about to get Colin Robb once again. Round 2, we go with these two battling out. Bunty, Conti, Dan Morrison, Mays are also battling further down the field. The mid-pack battles are really getting going. And now Break FN on the back of Colin Robb, trying to get the move done. Is he going to try and go all the way around the outside of turn 10? He hasn't got the pace, and I think Colin Robb's going to hang on in there.
Sector 2. Oh, someone's looped it. Simply Superman's looped it. Sorry to cut you off, but he's looped it. And that's going to allow Jonas to get by. I don't think he got any help, but it did look kind of close on the mini-map. So, but then the position he was makes me think he may have touched someone. But I have to go back and check the intervals for that one.
Yeah, I think he was around Scuba, Cowboy sort of area, if I'm not mistaken, around the likes of Mays, Dan Morris, and that sort of region. He might have had a bit of contact, or he might have just got caught in the curb and spun. You never know. Wesker's into the pit lane on 10 apple mediums.
Yep, indeed. So definitely, if he's on 10 apple, Wesker's pitting. That's safe to assume that Cam can't make it. So Cam probably should bite the bullet, pit soon, but if he pits another 3 to 4 laps, he can go another set of softs, though. So he's going to have to try to stretch it a couple more laps and then play chase down.
Yeah, he will. Wesker's into the pit lane. He's going to be out, maybe behind Simply Superman coming out the pit lane. In fact, he's going to be ahead of him.
Yeah, he's going to be ahead of him because that loop, luckily, he would have been behind with the Superman did not loop it. But Wesker now is good to go at the end. But the problem is a lot of the field is also good to go at the end, though. So that was not a good strategy call by Wesker. Yeah,
Break FN and Carwin Robb, I think they're going to make a round 3 maybe out of this. They're 5 tenths off each other, but 5 tenths is enough to try and gain. Break, though, not using the ERS, crucially, maybe to get him up the hill and towards turn 10. Have a look and see what is going to go on. In terms of the strategies around here as well, I think we're finally beginning to find out in terms of the strategies. Is it softs to hards around here on this game? Because it used to be softs mediums.
I think that's the case, but hards are a bit... even all the other F games, hards have been really a struggle tire. It's not something you really want to jump to, but it looks like right now, at the very least, that is the strategy call, because mediums aren't lasting, or something's questionable about the mediums. Now it looks like I thought Cam was going to come in there, but no, that was actually the other Aston, but even then he was kind of going wide. But go back to the point, though, it looks like hards are the ideal tire at the very least, so you probably didn't want to start in a set of hards, because Dan Moore's starting a set of hards had to go to mediums. So it looks like soft to hards is the strategy, or if you want to go alternate, go mediums to hards. Maybe.
Yeah, Cam is going to have to try his best to try and get those tyres to the end. If not, he's going to be down. Maybe we're looking at Maze sort of area. There is something actually nearly happening down the field.
He's actually pulling on Harry, which is something worth noting.
But is that the tyres coming back to him before they begin to truly, well and truly fall off the cliff? Or is Harry Banks now just saving his ERS? I think it might be the latter. It's 30% ERS, Cam has got 10%, and if Cam uses it here out of the Mistral straight, is he going to use his ERS here?
He is.
No.
He is using his ERS. I can see it ticking down. Oh, not Harry, Cam is. Yellow flag sector 1, that's someone long way around. That is, I can't tell, Wesker. Wesker's looped it.
Yeah, Wesker round coming out through turns 1 and 2. Turns 1 and 2 really seems to be one of the corners that drivers absolutely hate on this game, and I absolutely detest it myself when I've been doing time trial. Simply Superman's picked up a 3-second penalty. However, really good battle going on for 8th. Bunty, Conti, and Dan Morris. These are really good guys out on track. 2 on a set of hards, 1 on a set of mediums. Break FM, by the way, however, is going for round 3 on Carwin Robb. Down the inside line, he goes in towards turn number 11. Really high 4th gear coming through there from Break. And again, his gears don't seem to be synced. As now Carwin Robb looks to the inside line. Break is on the outside line. Carwin Robb back through. He likes turn 13.
But it's worth noting, Carbon One's on 10-lap-old medium, so he does like it. But like I said, when will his tires cliff? Because if he starts falling off too bad, if Break eventually gets by, Graham's not that far off the road. He's got a big pack behind him, all the way to Dan Morris. So when it rains, it pours. So Carway Robb is on the same call as Cam. And he's got 2-lap pressure, though, so he's going to have to try at the very least hold on for dear life.
Dan Morris, has he got the legs to try and get Conti down in towards turn 1? This is a 9th position. Down the inside line he goes. Force him out wide, and that's fair. Dan Morris is through. Fresher tyres, but yeah, no touch there at all. No touch there at all. And Dan Morris just forced Conti basically off a little bit wide, into a little bit of mistake. Dan Morris is through and he's into 9th, and now on the back of Bunty for 8th, and I think he's going to be past him sooner rather than later.
Yeah, indeed. I think he'll get eventually by as well. As now Dan Morris definitely setting up the Bunty here with the DRS as well. Long using his ERS advantage.
Oh,
Stop the same for both drivers. Yeah, that is quick and easy. That shows you the mediums are still faster than the hards, though. But I think it comes down to driving style. So this is like the social is a good test race to figure out what the tires do in the handling model. But mediums still may be the right call, but they may fall faster, though. So it's very interesting.
Well,
how conservative can you be?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
on
now Cam's in.
Cam is in. So 12 lap all mediums. I wonder if Colin Robb's going to follow him in maybe as well further down the field. But Cam is into the pit lane. Now this is crucial. Where is he going to come out? I think he's going to be behind Mad Jonas.
Actually, this is something to make me think right now too. We'll have on lap 20 here. So he's going to watch this in perspective. Right now I'm fishing on lap 20. 8 laps to go. That means Harry's got to make the 18 laps. And if I remember correctly, Dan only did about 14, 15. So can't even Harry make it to the end?
Do you know how I said he's going to come out behind Mad Jonas? Yeah, ignore that. He's going to come out behind Break FN. So he's up to 6th.
Ooh. But, yeah, now he's on a fresh set of sauce, so he's good to go to the end now for sure. But I don't know. Again, now I'm questioning if Harry can make it to the end along with Tibus. I think it's going to be close now. I know Vettel's good to go to the end. He's good. But the question mark is, can Harry and Tibus make the tires last another 7, 8 laps?
Who was it on a set of hards who came into stadium? Was it Wesker that was on a set of hards? And he made about 14, 15 laps and then came into the pit lane. That's what I think we're going to see, maybe. As now Cam sizes his way on Break FN, and now he's going to size his way on Carwin Rob.
Oh
2 to the price of 1, and Cam to the outside line. Job done on both. Buy 1, you get 1 free. Up to 4th.
And now if you're Harry, if you're Tibos, and you're Vettel's getting good to go to the end.
Oh, look at Break.
7 seconds clear.
Sorry, cut in. Look at Break FN and Carwin Rob behind him, and Break has got Carwin Rob. Has he got him for good, though?
As far as I can tell with tires, I think Carl Robb may be coming in this time by if we use Cam as a benchmark, but we'll have to see in question.
Cam's pulling away, but through the middle sector there into the final sector, he wasn't pulling away that much, and that's because of the toe up the hill. But now he's 1.1 seconds, and now they're out of DRS range as Carwin Rob is not coming in.
Not coming in. So, he'll be a good test dummy here to see, because if we assume the meet hard to only go about, actually in 14, 15 laps, he's definitely going to have to pit. There's no if, buts, or coconuts. He's going to have to pit along with a few other drivers in the back of the pack, including Maze, the Superman, and Scuba as well. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think Cam right now maybe in catbird seat, because he's only 5 back on Vettel, and he's closing well over a second a lap, so I think this is Cam's race to lose.
Cowboy in the back of Maze, backs off down in towards turn 1, look to try and go down the inside line, he doesn't. Mad Jonas though, in behind. Very quick driver on Sufferance, he's had a few spins and a few moments out on track, but now looks to the inside line on Cowboy. Lovely move that by Mad Jonas, that's what he can do, he's up into 12th.
Yeah, indeed. I thought he was going to go for aggressive there for another one, but it looks like he's going to back in behind Maze here. He's definitely going to get him on the long straight here. Doesn't want to be over-aggressive because he's made a few mistakes here and wants to try to recover as much as he can. And after Maze, it's a long road to 10th, but if someone can make it up, Jonas could be the driver.
And he's going to get the move done surely here on Maze as well. Down the inside line on the Mistral straight he goes, and he's through. Mad Jonas is through the German on the Brit, and like Euro 2020, the Brits got one over on the Germans. This time it's the other way around. The Germans get one over on the Brits, and Mad Jonas is through, and he's in for 11th.
Well, that explains why there's no Italians here, because they'd be topping all the British. But back to the point at hand, though, right now, Cam is 4 back on Vettel, and considering time penalties are in a factor, right now Cam needs another second, and he'll have 3rd. But, again, the question mark is, I know I keep saying it, I'm probably annoying some viewers at home. Ooh. Can Tibus and Harry make it to the end?
Carwin Robb's in. Carwin Robb has finally came into the pit lane. 13 lap all mediums.
Laps.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually lasted the furthest on a set of mediums this race.
I'll take a quick check of that through the director while you cover the action on track. Just a quick look at, take a quick look at the pit stops here. 10 laps, 11 laps on mediums, 12 laps. Yep, you are correct. I think actually Noisy went 15, maybe. No, because Noisy pitted early. Never mind. Yeah, that is the longest runner. You are correct. So
that's really good, I think, from Carwin Robb's perspective. He's came out in 14th position. In fact, he's came out in 15th position behind Simply Superman and is embroiled in that little bit of a battle. Graham and Conti. Williams against Alpine. And the Alpine now under pressure from the Irishman, Graham. Graham, of course, is going to be back in the commentary booth, of course, in TTML this season, I believe. And now he's on the back of Conti. Looks to try and go down the inside line, down the Mistral straight. He's closing in. Down the inside line he goes. Puts the car in there, but not quite close enough. He'll try and get him on the switchback. And he will get him on the run towards turn 10. Surely he's got 10% ERS. Conti on the left-hand side. This is a drag race now, up and towards turn number 10. And I think the Alpine is just going to come out on top. Maybe the Williams on the inside line. They're still side by side between Conti and Graham. This is great stuff between them both. And Graham now down the inside line. Is he going to get the move done? No! Conti is still there on the outside line. This is a great battle between them both. It's similar to Colin Robin break early on, but now he gets the move done. Not fresher tyres. Graham, though, manages to outgun Conti. Great battle that, up into 8th.
While that was happening, Corboy passed Mays going that same hairpin, though, so I didn't want to cut away from that battle to bring that up. But yeah, Corboy has passed Mays for the time penalties. That is just Mays' spot. Yep, Colin Rob is just passing Superman. With those fresh softs, he's going to make quick work of the field here, or at least well as much as he can get.
Yeah,
as Cam now gets another 3, though, so he's really pushing hard.
He is pushing hard. How fresh are those softs? Can they catch Vettel? Can they catch Matt Tibos and Harry Banks towards the end of the race? We're already on lap 23, 23 and a half if you're being picky. Harry Banks leads the way. Matt Tibos second and Vettel in third. And for you English fans out there, it's coming home.
I think it's not the coming home they wanted, but they'll get something at the very least. Something's coming home. Whether a victory in TTML or something in the Olympics coming up in a few days, but something will be coming home.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Banks is my prediction for the win, and many predictions for a win. Conti is back through, though, on Graham. Further down the field, he's up into 8th position. The Alpine through on the Williams. Mad Jonas, though, is catching. Mad Jonas, though, is catching these two, and I think we're going to see a 3-way battle next lap around. Graham is still side by side, though, with Conti. Running up the hill, pretty much quarter alongside of the yellow flag in sector 3. It's Cam. Cam's round.
That's Cam. Oh, that's Cam. That is not good for Cam. Indeed, I was kind of looking, I was checking eye on Cam. Yep, that takes any chance of him getting a win in this race at the very least, unless someone pits out of the question mark.
Graham and Conti are still side by side. How's he managed to complete that around the outside? That is fantastic on the bakes by Graham. He is through. But look, Mad Jonas, he didn't even have to wait until next lap around. He's already on the back.
Indeed, indeed. And now here he is going to have DRS on the long straight, but so will County. I think Graham's going to be like in Indianapolis here. He's going to be a sitting duck here. Oh, looks like, wow, Jonas gets a good drive off. DRS opened up and just straight on by. And now he's going to try to go both of 2Ps. Can he hold it? How aggressive will he be? Trying to put his thunder in there. Switchback, though, switchback.
No.
Nah, can't make it happen, but definitely at least be posing up for a move soon.
He's got to wait behind Graham to get that DRS. That's what he's going to have to do now. Mad Jonas is back through into 9th ahead of Conti, and now he's going to try and get the move done on Graham, coming out now onto the Mistral straight for the 24th time out on track. Harry Banks leads, Matt Tibor second, Vettel in third. That might be your top 3 depending on penalties. We'll give it a look in just a second, but here's Mad Jonas on the back of Graham. The easiest overtake you will see all night, apart from Mace's one earlier on. Mad Jonas is through, and he's into 8th position. But can he escape from Graham and Conti?
I think he's got good pace here. I think he will be able to escape. I think it's pretty good for Jonas. I think he'll definitely be able to get fast here and get on by. So I think we're just going to keep seeing Graham and County scrap for 9th and 10th respectively.
Well, Conti just backed off the throttle there, coming out of turn 10. Nearly picked up a 3-second time penalty. But Graham there in 9th position. On sufferance as well. Been a really good battle between the guys. And Mad Jonas has completely outgunned them both in terms of pace. So he's into 8th. Further up the field, though, Vettel beginning to try and draw in on Matt Tibos, and there's no questions about it. These guys may not get to the end of the race. However, looking at how fresh those tyres still look, for Harry Banks certainly, and for Matt Tibos, who's just picked up a penalty, Harry Banks looks relatively fresh, I've got to say, on that set of hard. That's got to be around 50-55% tyre wear.
Maybe indeed. So maybe I was a little bit off on prediction, but we only know Dan Moore's but 14-15 on the hards. So it does raise question, can maybe he just pitted early, but
oh,
Carwin Robb did something. I'm assuming that's what we saw in battle here.
I'm not sure who moved across on who, but there was a little bit of side-by-side contact there between them both. Did Carwin Robb move across on Scuba, maybe? He got the move done nonetheless. But something to note, maybe just going forward in terms of driving standards. Colin Rob through, he's into 12th.
Indeed. I was kind of looking up the field trying to check tire wear there. So, yeah, I can't tell you about that. That was still all right battle, though. And Rob up the 12th using those softs for his advantage. But I think that's where the buck stops. And he will not be able to catch Mays unless Divine Intervention. Divine
Intervention, maybe a safety car. Safety car's not even enabled in this TTML social race, which is a
even if it
tragedy.
Was, it wouldn't come out in time because it's lap 25, so it would basically be nothing. It'd end under caution.
End under a safety car, you never know. Harry Banks, though, leading the way. He's got 30% ERS on that car at the minute, coming across the line to start the penultimate lap of the race. Coleboy's picked up a 3-second time penalty right down the back of the field. He's pushing hard to maybe try and get the fastest lap, and in fact the fastest lap at the minute, I will tell you who has got the fastest lap when I find it. There we go. It's Cam who's got the fastest lap of the race, 29.8. is his fastest lap. And he's on a 2-stop. He's best out of the 2-stoppers.
He is indeed. Now I'm just thinking, what if, question marks, now if Cam didn't loop it a couple laps ago, he definitely went on the back of Vettel. Could he have reeled in Tibos and Harry? Put some pressure on him, maybe make a mistake, but that is a what if scenario in the dungeons of history.
I think he would have, to be honest. I mean, he's caught 2 seconds since that spin, but in about 4 or 5 laps, and that just comes to show the tyre wear. For Cam's tyres, I think. He's on 6-lap old softs, and he's not really making an impact, and he's a bit in no man's land at the minute. But if he didn't spin, coming through turn 12, I have no shadow of a doubt he would have been ahead of Vettel by now, and he probably would have been on the back of Matt Tibos fighting out for second.
Probably. I'd probably agree too. I think he'd be in the back of Tibos, and that would probably be that where it ends, because the time pass Harry would still be good now with 1 lap to go. Unless he suffers a Toyota-esque meltdown, it's going to be Harry's race to lose.
It is going to be Harry Banks' race to lose, and Harry has kept himself away from the curbs, away from the 3-second penalties, but there is always a commentator's curse possibility on Formula 1, but Harry Banks starts the final lap.
I do not want to be the first commentator curse for the new game on TTML, so I'm hoping that is not me there. I hope I did not open Pandora's box.
Definitely not. I've already done
Scuba. Scuba's looped it. He's in the wall hard there. That is no safety cars, but that is not how he wants to finish this race. They just lost it coming off the end of Sector 3 in that fast right, and he just lost it and hit the wall hard.
Cohen Rob side by side with Mays coming through the final 2 corners. This is very rare you get to see side by side through here. And Mays and Cohen Rob are side by side. Who's got the DRS though? It's Cohen Rob that has got the DRS. He now pulls to the inside line adjacent to the pit wall. This is brave from the Welshman, but he is through. And he just again slightly moves across on Mays. Just got to be wary of his markers, to be honest. But Cohen Rob through and he's into 11th. Harry Banks can take it easy though out in front, as long as he doesn't pick up a penalty. Even if he does, he's going to win. Harry Banks on the road to a great victory here in the TTML social race, and this might be, just might be, the sign of things to come.
Maybe indeed. It could show a good sign in the future, but
Bunty!
it also...
Sorry to cut in. Bunty dives it down the inside line, and that's what he gets for diving it down the inside line. That was never going to work. So late on the brakes, and Dan Morris just swipes him, albeit on by accident. He swipes him, and Bunty should have never have gone for that dive bomb. That was just ridiculous.
No, yeah, indeed. I didn't get a good look at it. I was trying to keep Harry on screen there. But yeah, now Bunty going to get past Jonas, though, so they're going to still fight to the end here. Bunty may be a little too aggressive being a social race here, but Harry comes to the last couple corners here. He is going to win the TTML Ice Cream Social, and it's going to be Harry winning this race, and Tibos coming in second, and Vettel going to bring it home in third.
Further down the field, Bunty still having an aggressive fight with Mad Jonas. Mad Jonas should get 7th, I think, here. Bunty will try and look to get the move done into the final corner. He's just going to play it safe, and Mad Jonas will come across the line to finish in 7th. Cam, by the way, finishing 3rd. Vessel 4th. Break FN and 5th. Quite close on the penalties in the end. Dan Morrison 6th. Bunty up to 7th. Graham outdoes everyone up to 6th, in fact. Conti finishes in 10th. Coleman Rob now coming across the line to finish in 11th. Mays across the line to finish in 12th. Jumps up to 11th because of Coleman Rob's penalties. Wesker, Simply Superman, now across the line to finish 13th and 14th. Do they swap? No. Simply Superman, I think, will drop down further down the field. Oh, Noisy crashes into the wall. And I think he lost the position there to Cowboy. He might have actually collected Cowboy on the run to the line. Drive the day awarded by the in-game fans, Dan Morris.
I think I perceived Dan Morris. Well, he started 20th and made it all the way to 6th. That was a great drive by Dan Morris, but I just got the achievement for liking the watch. So, hooray, an achievement.
An achievement already, first of hopefully many things to come here in TTML, but to the top step of the podium, Harry Banks goes, and is that the first time we're going to see him on the top step of the podium this season? The confetti flows, the champagne flows, and it's a British one too, because Matt Tibos finishes in 2nd, and I think FPL Vessel finished in 3rd.
It actually went to Cam.
Cam finished in 3rd. It's an all British affair at the top 3.
Oh, joy, as an American, that sounds so fun.
But we'll run you through the full grid order now. It's Harry Banks who has won. Look at the red amount of penalties to the right-hand side. Harry Banks looking very, very serious after his race. When he wins, though, from the Aston Martins of Matt Tibos and Cam, finishing in 2nd and 3rd. Really good race, I've got to say, between them. FPL Vettel in 4th. Break FN on his debut up to 5th. I did say watch out for him. He's up to 5th from 14th on the grid. Graham from 17th on the grid up to 6th. And Dan Morris 20th on the grid up to 7th. Arla Bunty, 16th on the grade, up to 8th. Mad Jonas all the way down to 9th. Conti ran off the top 10. Mason 11th. Carwin Robin 12th. Wesker 13th. Noisy 14th. Simply Superman in 15th. Callboy 16th. Scuba in 17th. Crushed it out very late on. Top 16 would have got points if it was the point standings. Kiki, Funky Pigeon, Funky Chicken, and Honey Badger round off the results. Goodness me, I don't know where I got Funky Pigeon from.
I mean, some people consider pigeons chickens, so not totally a fair loop.
No, I don't know why. We've got a website called Funky Chicken. It's a card-making website, so it probably came from there. Anyways, terrible. Absolutely terrible. But that's the end of tonight here in the TTML Social Race. We really hope you've enjoyed the action. Pepsi, I'm going to come across to you. Driver of the day.
I think I've said it in the stream, but I'm going to say it again. I think I'm going to give it to Dan Morris. He qualified. He actually qualified 20th and brought the car home in, I believe, 6th, if not mistaken. So that's a great recovery drive from him, and that's who I'm giving my driver of the day to. Yeah,
I've got to agree, to be honest. I think Dan Morris drove a very, very solid race. I'm sure he is going to be very, very happy with his performance, and hopefully it might be a sign of things to come in TTML, and I will award him also driver of the day for the TTML Social Race. But what have we got to look forward to on League Racing TV? Well, let me tell you. I'll need to find the calendar first. Give me a second. Might want to try and fill in for me at this point while I sit in sufferance.
Yeah, I'll fill this in real fast. I know for a fact that the first one, it's on Thursdays and it's on Fridays at 8 and 8 respectively, British Standard Time here. And now I can't find the calendar as well, even though it should be right in front of my eyes. There we go. He's got it now. He'll tell you the whole calendar ready to go, but that's going to be a great season.
It is going to be a great season, of course. We have 5 divisions awaiting us. Division 1 to Division 5. And the front 3 divisions, Division 1, 2 and 3, are happening now on a Thursday night. They're going to run at the same time of 8 PM UK time. And I can confirm to you, your commentary team for each one, if I can now find the lineup. There we go. So, for TTML Formula 1, it is myself and Paco Suarez taking you through, along with the task system and along with graphics from Tom. Division 2, Formula 2, it is Luke Etheridge and Mr. Pepsi Freak taking you through the action. For the, that is line only, by the way, for Formula 1. Line 2, Formula 2 is assists. So that is the difference between, well, Formula 1 and Formula 2. That also has a task system and also have graphics provided by Luke. Formula 3, Brendan White making his commentary debut on the channel on League Racing TV. He's alongside Conti for Formula 3. All 3 of those tiers happen at 8 PM UK time. It is myself and James Boyle taking you through the action for Division 4 on a Friday night, and Pariah and TFB Buck taking you through the action for TTML Formula 5, and also TTML Sim 1 on a Sunday. Well,
that is going to be me, myself. That's going to be a no assist league where it's going to be 2 25% leagues, 2 25% races happening following the same calendar as well. But we do need a co-commentator there, so we're always looking for another one. So if you want to join, send an application the way. I could use a co-commentator.
Yeah, of course, you can contact at League Racing TV at TTML. You can contact me as well, with me being the head commentator, of course, here on League Racing TV and in TTML. You can contact me if you are interested.
You can also contact me as well. I can't really link you anywhere, but we can have a fun conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure Pepsi will be very, very happy to have a conversation with you about that, but hopefully it's going to be great. And to confirm the calendar as well before we end, Bahrain, first round of the championship on the 26th and 27th of August. Italy, round 2, 2nd and 3rd of September. Spain, round 3, 9th and 10th of September. Austria, round 4, 16th and 17th of September. Britain, 5th race of the season, 5th round, 23rd and 24th of September. Belgium, the 30th of September and the 1st of October. Japan, round 7, 7th and 8th of October. United States, 8th round 8, 14th and 15th of October. Brazil, round 9, 21st and 22nd of October. And round 10, the season finale, of course, in Abu Dhabi, 28th and 29th of October, are the dates that you need to put in your calendar. If you can't be bothered to, go on at TTML_F1, the calendar's on there.
And also, if you can't make the live race, can't watch the live race, there's always a live replay after every stream. So if you can't make the date, you can watch it anytime at your convenience. And you can also watch all the other seasons and all the other goodies and all the other moments as well.
There is indeed, and yeah, BNL and CWC are also going to be live on the channel. We'll tell you more information about that when we next come live, of course, on the channel.
at 8 for CWC. I think that was recently confirmed today. They're looking for that date for both divisions.
BNL as well, I am seeing League 1 on a Saturday at 9 PM, League 2 on a Sunday at 8 PM, League 3 on a Saturday at 7 PM, all Dutch time, so take that with a pinch of salt. Take that basically an hour before, basically, in UK time. So it'll be 8 PM, 7 PM, 6 PM.
Yep, so that'd be, if you're somehow American, that would be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and do the rest of your conversions yourself, people.
Have a look on Google. Google always helps. But before we get kicked off the air, I think we'll end it here. Brilliant commentating alongside you once again, Pepsi. Wish everyone the best of luck, of course, for TTML Social Race, and we'll be back, hopefully in the not-too-distant future, to bring you more action on League Racing TV. But for myself and Pepsi, thank you so much for tuning into the action. Please stay safe in this crazy world we all live in, and until next time, goodbye.